Hello dear students, once again a very warm welcome to all of you in the lecture series. I'm glad to tell you we have already finished two particular units from your science portion. In fact, the chemistry part of your science book, carbon and its compound, and the next one, chemical reactions and equations. We have already given 8 lectures in a row, 4 for carbon and its compound, and 4 for the next one, which is chemical reactions and equations. So today we are with a brand new unit. Title is Periodic Classification of Elements, where we are going to study the classification of elements as per different scientists, how they use their criteria to classify different elements, what were their merits and what were their demerits, and what are the trends in periodic classification, how they used to relate each other properties, and how they classify elements on the basis of that particular properties. So let's start with today's topic. In today's lecture, there will be classification attempts of element, which scientists try to classify elements on what basis and what criteria. Today we are going to study that particular thing. Maybe in today's lecture, if time allows, we are going to complete Dobenius triad and then Newland's law of octaves. In the earlier state of classification, starting from triad, there were too many attempts of classification. Dobenius triad was there, Newland's law of octaves were there, and then Mendeleev's periodic table was there. And today what we have is the modern periodic table, which was obviously discovered by Henry Moseley. Okay, so in today's class we are going to start with Dobenius triad. So let's start. So before starting this particular topic, there would obviously one question in your mind, sir, why there is a need of classification of elements? So the answer is, in today's periodic table, we have 119 element is discovered, only 118 is discovered and 119 yet to be discovered. And even in this particular periodic table, which was stated by Dobenius, at that time more than 30 element was discovered. And as per Newland, there was more than 56 element was discovered, and Mendeleev's, at the time of Mendeleev's, there was 62 element discovered. Okay, so to study the property, physical and chemical properties of each and every element separately, and that's all okay, and to study physical and chemical properties of all the compounds found by that particular elements, we already told you in the unit number 4, which is carbon and its compound, that carbon can form a large number of compounds due to the properties like tetracovalency, catenation, etc. So there is a separate book in your class 11th and 12th which is named as organic chemistry. So to study separate properties of all that particular compounds would be more difficult without this particular classification. So what you have to do? You have to do is to classify all those elements in certain groups or rows where you will be able to judge the properties of all the elements or all the members of that particular group on the basis of a single member of that particular group. Let's see what these scientists has to say about the classification of elements. Starting from Dobenius triad. Why triad? Sorry, this should be like this, triad. This means 3. What Dobenius did, he classified elements a little bit on the basis of atomic mass, but he didn't mention that in encyclopedias. He classified elements on the basis of atomic mass in groups of 3, and he found that the arithmetic mean of the atomic masses of the first and third element was almost and approximately equal to the atomic mass of the central element. How? Let's see. What he did? He classified elements in this way. Making triads means making grouping of 3. What he did? Suppose he made groups of 3 elements as triad. That's why it is called as triad. 3 groups: chlorine, bromine, and iodine. What he found? He found that the average of atomic masses of these 2 elements, was approximately equal to the atomic mass of this particular element. See, before going ahead, I would like to define this, and then we will see some examples over there. He arranged certain elements in a group of 3 and found that mean or average of atomic masses of first and third element was almost equal to the atomic mass of second element. This was what he stated, that when he grouped three elements as triads, he found that the average of atomic masses of the first and the third element was almost equal to the atomic mass of the second or the central element. Okay, so this was the statement. Now let's see how he explained this on the basis of examples. See, first of all, a very simple example. Okay, lithium, sodium and potassium. He put up these three elements in a group called as triads, and he tried to find out the average of these two atomic masses. Lithium has an atomic mass of 7, sodium is 23 and potassium is 39. So what he did, he found the average of these two atomic masses, first and third element, what we said. So that average would be 7 plus 39 divided by 2. Is it? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 3, 1, 4. 46 by 2. 2, 2, 4, 2, 3 is 6. See, it's almost and exactly equal to the atomic mass of the second element. As per his statement, he said that the average of these two atomic masses, first and the third element, this is number 1, this is number 2 and this is number 3. Average of these two atomic masses, that means sum of these two atomic masses divided by 2, 7 plus 39 divided by 2 was exactly coming out to be 23, which is the atomic mass of the central element. So this was his statement. This was what he did with two other groups also. I am going to mention it here. This was the first group he mentioned. And the second group he made was chlorine, bromine and iodine. See, he again made a triad. What he did? He found the average of the atomic masses of these two elements and was found that it was approximately equal to the atomic mass of this central element. See, chlorine has an atomic mass of 35.5, you already know. Bromine is 80, iodine is 127. Okay, what he did? He found out the average of these two atomic masses. Let's find the average. 127 plus 35.5 divided by 2. So it was 5.7512, 3, 4, 5, 1, 6, 1 divided by 2. 2 8s are 16, 2 1s are 2, 2 2 81.2. Almost it was equivalent to 81.2, which is nearly or approximately equal to the atomic mass of this central element. That means the average of the atomic masses of these two elements was almost exactly equal to the atomic mass of the central element. This way he was trying to find some connection between these three elements. He was using this strategy. The other scientists use their own kind of strategies to classify these. So then we are going to see how this strategy works, what are the merits and what are the demerits of this particular classification. Okay, this was another example. He also found calcium, strontium and barium. He also made a group of calcium, strontium and barium. Okay, what he did? Calcium is 40, this is 88 and this is 137. Again he found the mean. 137 plus 40 divided by 2, is it? 7, 7, 1 divided by 2. 2 8s are 16, 2 8s are 16, 2 5s are 10. Almost 88.5. Again, what's forming? The average of the atomic masses of these two elements, the first and the third one, remember, this is the second, this is the third one. Always the average of these two elements was found to be approximately equal to the atomic mass of the second element. So on the basis of this observation, what are the merits and what are the demerits of this particular classification? Let's see that. See, he make a group of these three three elements, and he made a group of three particular elements like this. Lithium, sodium and potassium, and after that chlorine, bromine, iodine, and then calcium, strontium and barium. He made these three groupings of these elements. He was able to make a conception of that the atomic masses and their means was almost and exactly equal to the atomic mass of the second element, and there were certain merits on the basis of this classification. What were the merits and what were the demerits? The merits were, see in this particular group, chlorine, bromine and iodine. The merits was, when later it was found, their properties was almost similar to each other. Let's see some properties over here. All these three elements were having a valency of -1. This was the merit. He was able to classify, and after watching the properties of that particular elements, it was found that they already have a similar properties. This was the merit of this particular classification. That's why this is still in the encyclopedia or in your books. And when it was found about hydrogen halides, when we see HCl, HBr and HI, all these were found to be acids. All these were found to be acids. One more property is all these three elements were found to be non-metals. Of this Dobenius trad. This was all merits. Now see what was the demerit of this classification. See, the first demerit was, at this particular time, almost it was 1829 I think, at this particular moment of time, there was almost 30 plus element discovered. Okay, the elements known at that particular time was 30 plus. So the demerit was, he was unable to classify. He was unable to classify all the elements. And the second demerit was, see, let's see in the same group. This is chlorine, bromine and iodine. Is it? Now join one more thing over here, one more element over here. This is fluorine. Now make a triad. Just erase this. इसको triad एक बना दीजिए आप. देख लीजिए आप इसका. 19, क्लोरीन का 35.5 and bromine का 80. कर दीजिए सर आप. 80 plus 19 divided by 2. ऐसे ही एवरेज निकालेंगे हम. तो 9, 8, 1, 9. 99 divided by 2. 2 4s are 8, 2 9s are 18, 2 5s are 10. 49.5 average आ रहा था इसका. The exact average of the atomic masses of first and third element was coming up to be 49.5, which is too far away from the atomic mass of the second element. Here, Dobenius trait and his conception was failing somewhere. Is it? See, in all the three kind of classifications which he made, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and calcium, strontium and barium, and lithium, potassium, and then after that, all these three things were holding very good. But when we put up fluorine over here, जब हमने fluorine लाया, chlorine, bromine, iodine को छोड़ के iodine को हमने side में रखा, जब हमने इसका arithmetic mean निकाला, the first and the third element, what was his hypothesis? According to him, it should exactly be coming up to be nearest to this particular atomic mass. But in this case, he was failing and it was not equal to that. Okay. So this was all about Dobenius trait. So please have a look at it once again. I already told you that if somebody misses this particular class on DD Kashir's channel, the same used to get uploaded on the same channel and after that on DESEL app also. So please have a look once again if you are unable to understand. So the next one was Newland's law of octaves. Okay. Newland is a modification to Dobenius trait. Newland's come up with a new law, what is known as Newland's law of octaves. As per this law, he was a very great music lover. That's why he put up a conception of music over here. He said there are 7 notes of music: sa re, ga ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. See, Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on the 8th one, this is repeating once again. See, sa is coming again on the 8th one. That's why this law is called as octaves. Because the property of every 8th element was resembling with the property of the respective first element in that particular group. Okay? So what was that? I'm going to explain you that. Before that, what he said that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have to select one element and you have to go ahead, proceed ahead with the counting. On every 8th element, you will be able to find that the first element and the 8th element, their properties, physical and chemical properties, will be resembling over there. Okay? So, let's move ahead with the table. Why octaves? So, it was almost in 1866. At that time, almost 56 elements were known. So, let's see, he made the table this way. Starting from hydrogen, at that particular time, no any noble gases were discovered. So this was something. Hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, sodium. Because I am not writing helium, neon, because at that time there are no noble gases were discovered. So I am excluding that. See, this was how he classified his periodic table. See, hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, potassium and calcium. See, how he said? He said, you have to choose one element over here, okay? And then you have to go on counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means these two properties will definitely be resembling with one another. If you choose this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These two have similar physical and chemical properties almost. Okay. So this was the law of octaves, where he stated when we arrange these elements on the basis of atomic number, on the basis of increasing atomic mass, not atomic number, on the basis of increasing atomic masses, what we found that the property of every 8th element will be resembling to the respective first one. What that means? If you choose this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These two properties will obviously having similar properties. If you choose this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These two should have a similar properties. That's why this law is always known as law of octaves. What does octaves represent here? Law octaves is something relation to 8. Okay? Where he are already giving us sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. After every 7th musical note, we were again getting the same musical note sa again. So sa should be similar to sa. That's why here lithium should be exactly similar to 8. Sodium, which is the 8th element. After this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On the basis of this conception, what are the demerits and what are the merits of this particular classification? So first of all, write down the statement of what Newland said. After that, if time allows, we will discuss the merits and demerits. Otherwise, we will let it to the next lecture. Okay? Newland's law of octaves. See, it states that when we arrange elements on basis of increasing atomic mass, the property of, remember, the property of every 8th element will be similar to respective first element. What does that mean? Respective means Respective means respective to that particular eighth element. I showed you example using that particular table where if you choose the element number 1, that property would obviously same with the only eighth element. Okay, see what he said. When we arrange elements on the basis of atomic masses, then what happens? Every eighth element's property would be resembling the property of the respective first element. This was the statement given by Newland's law of octaves. I am going to make the table once again to make you understand this particular statement. See, he explained it this way. First of all, sa re gamma pa dha ni sa. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The first one was sa, and the second, eighth one was again sa. That means whatever is on the first part, whatever is available on the first number, those properties would be resembling the eighth one. See, we have already seen it here. Hydrogen, helium was not there at that particular time. Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and then sodium, magnesium, aluminum, this goes this way. See, if you choose this element as number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lithium and sodium should have a similar property. This is what his statement said. Okay? And if you choose this particular element as first, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then boron and aluminum should have similar properties. This is what his statement said. If you choose this element as number 1, magnesium, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then obviously magnesium and calcium was obviously having some kind of similar properties. So I think in today's lecture it will be all okay, because extending its merits and demerits, it's a little bit more complicated, and to make you understand better, I'm not going to take that in today's lecture. What we have to in today's lecture is Dobenius rate, where he used groups of 3 elements, and the arithmetic mean of that two first and third element was almost and approximately equal to the atomic mass of the second element. On the basis of that particular thing, he was able to make some merits on the classification of elements, where we are finding that chlorine, bromine, iodine having same valencies. They all were forming some acids, hydrochloric acid, HBr, hydrobromic acid, etc., HI, etc. And calcium, strontium and barium was also there. There were certain merits, and obviously there were certain demerits also, because all that non-elements were unable to classify on the basis of Dobenius rate. And most probably in the same group, fluorine, chlorine and bromine, it was failing all the way. It was not equal to the atomic mass of the second element. And next, coming to the law of octaves, 1 and 8 have some relation in that particular law. Whenever you are choosing element number 1, and after counting 8, you will definitely be finding some relationship between the element number 1 and the element number 8. On the basis of this conceptualization, he has certain merits, and obviously there will be certain demerits too, that we will be going to discuss in the next lecture. Till then, thank you so much. Have a nice day.